pause on the Pats for a second, though, because while we can, argue whether or not they're a blue blood, there is like a palace intrigue that exists with the Patriots, I think, because of Belichick, of what Belichick and Brady did, and then Robert Kraft. And there is just, because of the amount of secrecy that happens around this team, this sort of Patriot way, this fortress that appears to be around the team, when any time that gets tripped up or crumbles a little bit or falls, I find it fascinating. And that's what's happening now with Tom Curran, who's as plugged in as anybody in New England, saying that Bill Belichick was really pissed off that Mac Jones throughout last year, went to his former Alabama coaches to ask for help with the offense. Like, first of all, Bill, how could you be pissed about that? Your offense stunk. And part of the reason they stunk is because of you. You didn't put an offensive coordinator in who was competent at all. You had a defensive coordinator and Joe Judge, who was a former special teams guy and a failed coach of the Giants. And you've drafted poorly on the offensive side of the ball. Bill, with defense, Perloff, you'll never be able to say a word. His defenses are always amazing. But offensively, they have not hit on wide receivers. And their offensive philosophy last year didn't exist.
Yeah, but it was also bad the year before. They were not a good offense with Bill O'Brien at the end, were they?
Bill O'Brien. Josh McDaniels.
Yeah, they
had a rookie quarterback, so I think you were grading a little on a curve.
So I'm sorry. I should have read the details. Mac Jones I thought he was calling Bill O'Brien. He was calling somebody else.
Well, down the Alabama coaches where Bill O'Brien was the offensive coordinator, right?
Right. So was he not calling Bill O'Brien? Was he calling? who he had at Alabama?
Yeah. It just said he was calling the coaches at Alabama. I don't know if we ever got a specific. Got it.
I had forgotten that Bill O'Brien had been out of the building until now, so he has no excuses if Bill O'Brien's back.
I know, but there was always, remember, Albert Breer had the report that Bill Belichick was hesitant to bring Bill O'Brien back.
Because he thought he'd be one and done.
Yeah. And then now all of a sudden he's being welcomed back. I think there were some whispers that Kraft might have had something to do with that. First of all, Kraft has always loved Bill O'Brien, and the fact that Belichick may have been stubborn about who he wanted to run the offense.
I'll tell you right now, Alabama fans are thrilled about this because O'Brien. I know Bryce Young had big numbers, but there was definitely something missing the last couple of years at Alabama. So here's the thing about the Patriots.
Yeah.
I just think now that Tom is gone, it doesn't even matter. You're not going to dress up this pig. I think they're an average team who's going to be right around 500 for the foreseeable future. Is anything, whether they keep Mac Jones or go Bailey Zappi, unless they bring in Lamar Jackson, isn't the result going to be almost the same thing?
So there was another report on top of the Tom Curran report.
Right.
And that was Mike Florio, Pro Football Talk, who said that the Patriots have been shopping Mac Jones.
Right.
A little surprising when you take a guy 2 years ago in the first round. But now they're shopping Mac Jones. And the teams were the Raiders, which is interesting now they signed Brian Hoyer to a 2-year deal. I don't know if that means anything. The Tampa Bay Buccaneers, the Commanders, and I believe that was it.
There are 4, right? Okay.
What was the 4th team?
I can't remember.
I'll get it.
Yeah, you get that. Here's the problem. Mac Jones, okay, he took a major step back from year 1 to year 2, probably because of the coaching. I agree with you. But if you're a team, are you going to take that risk? Are you going to give up something good for Mac Jones?
Well, here's the thing. Is Mac Jones a competent quarterback that I can get basically like on the cheap?
Right, 5th round pick.
5th round pick, maybe a 4th, but okay. And he's still on the rookie deal. The 4th team was the Texans.
Yeah,
Raiders, Texans, Buccaneers, Commanders. Now, the Texans makes it interesting because they hold the 2nd overall pick. So, would they go with Mac Jones as opposed to drafting somebody there?
And go for another position.
Yeah, and or trade out of that pick.
Yeah, and obviously a lot of former Patriots in Houston.
Of course.
So
including their GM.
Yeah, I don't know. Nick Caserio, did he draft Mac Jones? I don't think so. I think he was already gone. But anyway, regardless, they have a Patriots mindset and they obviously communicate. But where are the Texans going with Mac Jones? I'm sorry, I just don't know.
Well, now, here's the thing, though. Yeah. Mac Jones, where are the Texans going with Mac Jones? Great question. I don't know. Can you compete in the AFC South, though, with Mac Jones? You might be able to. No. But not against Trevor Lawrence. Houston. But here's the thing. If you really don't like one of these quarterbacks, though, Mac Jones can just be your Band-Aid to get you to you have him on a cheap rookie deal for a couple of years, and meanwhile, you've traded out of that number 2 pick, and maybe you're getting a first rounder for next year or something like that. You probably would.
Right, but why not just go with Davis Mills? What's the difference?
Could, but...
Well, let me ask you about one team that we haven't mentioned.
What's that?
The 49ers reportedly love Mac Jones, so go ahead, just trade Trey Lance, your problem in San Francisco, for Mac Jones. So Trey Lance, everyone's rumoring is on the trade block and might get traded during the draft, former number 3 overall pick. Why not just do that?
Do we know Trey Lance is any good?
We have no idea. We know Mac Jones threw 14 touchdowns and 11 picks last year.
Right.
We know that.
And if he goes to San Francisco, all of a sudden they're going to go to the NFC Championship game.
But we also know Trey Lance could have a huge jump in his career. Because he can run like crazy, where Mac Jones is... Yeah, I mean, even if is Mac Jones better than Brock Purdy?
Well, I'd ask you this. Do we think there's a playoff mandate in New England? Because Peter King had his Football Morning in America column, obviously, on Monday, and he had some interesting things about the Patriots. Basically, the team, he said, is 25-26 since Tom Brady left, 0 playoff wins. And listening to Robert Kraft talk like Belichick, again, this is Peter King writing, we care about performance, not individual records. I'm starting to wonder what happens to Belichick, who turns 71 in 2 weeks, if the Patriots sink to the bottom of the AFC East.
Which odds are they? Las Vegas odds right now, they're a distant 4th.
Say the Patriots go 7-10. Again, this is Peter. Each of the next 2 years, and Belichick has 5 wins from passing Don Shula. What would Robert Kraft do? Again, this is kind of like in the backdrop of Belichick getting this all-time record. But say Belichick is on the hot seat, as Ben Volen from the Boston Globe told us. Is he really going to go into a year on the hot seat with Trey Lance? That doesn't seem like it right to me.
No.
Would he go in with Lamar Jackson? Now, there you might have something.
Yeah. No, I don't. But then again, I think it's most likely that he'll go in with Mac Jones and Bailey Zappi. And the reason I say it's most likely is because Bill Belichick is so defiant that I think people saying you're not going to win with these guys, he's going to try to win with these guys just to prove a point.
Yeah.
I mean, what has been really, Mac Jones was a swing. Like, they have not had a quarterback strategy, so they took a swing at Mac Jones. Right. Doesn't look like it's working, so now they find themselves a distant 4th in the AFC East odds.
And kind of in no man's land, though,
totally,
as well.
They're in limbo.
Right, so do you stay with Mac Jones? Now, the thing is about Belichick, I'm surprised he would take it that personally, that Mac Jones talked to the Alabama coaches. First of all, best friends with Saban, Bill Belichick. So it's not like he's letting the company secrets. He didn't call Pete Carroll and ask for advice, or he wasn't on the phone with, Kyle Shanahan.
Well, I mean, this is a coach who let Tom Brady walk out when he still had 3 good years left out of something personal. So it does get personal, it looks like.
Well, I don't know. I know all the Alex Guerrero stuff, but I think Belichick really thought that Brady was probably about to fall off a cliff, right?
Well, if he did, he miscalculated.
Yeah, no, he definitely did.
I think, too, that the credit, I think that they had started to grade on each other. Yeah, and then 2019 was a brutal season. I think Brady had the same problem in New England that Mac Jones is having. There's no talent there at all. So, I mean, look, I can't believe that they're going into this season without wide receiver core. And now that DeAndre Hopkins might get cut, and then you read that they don't even want to spend on him. So I'm not sure what's happening here. I think I'm going to win my bet that Bill Belichick will retire without. What was the bet exactly?
The bet was, you bet me that Bill Belichick will not make it to the playoffs again before he retires.
Now, did I say in New England?
I don't think you did.
Can I have that caveat?
No. No, you may not.
So if he goes down, where is he going to go? Did Peter say if he wasn't a Patriot coach and he wanted to break the record, where he might go?
He didn't have any landing spots.
Because Houston.
But you know what would be like the full circle? Go back to the Browns. But I think that ended not great.
Well, also, right, I think it was the different Browns. I don't think
that
had nothing to do with this organization.
Although this organization isn't exactly gangbusters. But if he did want to go full circle.
Right. So I would think Houston be a landing spot because Casario's down there. But they love D'Amico Ryans, and I don't think they're going to fire him in a couple of years.
I don't think. Well, I mean, listen.
They've had a bad look with firing coaches way too quickly.
Terrible. But everything about the Houston Texans said a terrible look. We were talking to our Uber driver when we were in Houston, and they're like, Texans. It was like no buzz.
How about this? How about Arizona Cardinals?
Why would Bill go there? They might have the least amount of talent on their roster than any team in the NFL.
If you go 2 years of 7-10, he's not going to have his choice of places. He's 73 years old. That's a kind of.
He's the best coach of all time.
That is the kind of place. Yeah, but Why
the winningest? He will be the winningest coach of all time.
So, well, if he gets to Arizona. But I don't think he's going to have his choice of jobs. First of all, you're going to have something that's vacant, which is
seven teams a year.
All bad. So where do you go to retire? Where did Emmitt Smith go after as a Cowboy? The Cardinals. It's going to be some random team like that.
Belichick with Kyler Murray. You think that's going to work?
No, Kyler Murray, this is 2 years from now. He'll be gone from there.
Where will he be? Let's keep doing it.
So he's got 3 years. Yeah, his contract will be coming to an end, and he'll be cut, I think. Yeah, I don't even think. He's probably not going to play much this year. That's not going well.
Also, I don't think he should. The problem is that if you're going to tank, you're going to have these quarterbacks at the top of the draft. And what happens if the Arizona Cardinals end up with the number 1 pick?
Oh, they're
definitely taking Caleb Williams.
Rushing to the podium to take Caleb Williams.
Yeah, and then you just really take a hit on Kyler Murray.
The Lance Zierlein, my buddy at NFL.com, had a spicy mock draft today. He had Anthony Richardson falling to 14 to the New England Patriots, which... That's ridiculous.
Wow,
There's no way that's going to happen, I don't think. But what about the Patriots trading up a little bit and getting a rookie? That's an interesting thing. Is that too much with Mac Jones in the house?
I think so, because you have Mac Jones and Bailey Zappi. So you're going to throw another young guy in the mix?
Well,
what does that do?
I think you would have to trade Mac Jones to do that.
Listen, do you think the Baltimore Ravens want Mac Jones in return for a Lamar Jackson trade? That's a tough sell to the fan base.
I don't think
sorry,
so.
We had the unanimous MVP. Now here's Mac Jones.
No, I don't think they would do that. Mac Jones had a really bad season, and his rookie season was promising, but it wasn't complete. I looked at his.
But he had no offensive coordinator. That has to count for something.
Right, but you're just guessing that he's going to be good based on. He had no offensive coordinator, but Bailey Zappi looked way better. Bailey Zappi completed 71% of his passes.
I'm sorry, I can't tell them apart. Well, the same guy.
I don't even know if they actually are. I think Bailey Zappi actually was Mac Wilson by the end of the season. If I show you right now a picture of Bailey Zappi, I know this doesn't work on radio, and Mac Wilson, you will not know which one is which.
Mac Jones, Zach Wilson mashup.
Who is that?
I think that's Zappi. Is it? Is it Mac Jones? It's Zappi.
It's Zappi. But
yeah, they look exactly alike.
They have the same exact haircut.
Like a police sketch artist. It'd be the
same forehead. It is uncanny how much they look like. So,
like who robbed the bank? I don't know
if I said it on air, but I think they were interchanging the two of them in the same uniforms last year to confuse opponents.
Confuse opponents, but they have the same game.
They have the same exact game. Yeah. Anyway, we'll see. I think New England is in some real trouble, and then I will win my bet. Or they'll go 13-4 somehow.
Nebby Z's in the chat. You got to go to Arizona because that's the place where old people go.
That was kind of what I was thinking.
Yeah. Well, then you might as well go to Miami. Old people go to Miami.
Yeah, but Mike McDaniel looks like he's promising.
And when they get Tom Brady, that'd be awkward.
Yeah. How about the Raiders, by the way?
People also go to Las Vegas to retire.
And Dave Ziegler is a Patriots guy. They'd have to fire Bill's protege, Josh McDaniels.
Yeah, but all of Belichick's proteges stink.
Yeah.
As head coaches, most of them.
Just demote him to OC. It'll be a perfect marriage.
Yeah, right. Bill there, Josh to OC.
Yeah.
Then you finally have something cooking.
Bring in Matt Patricia.